Well, hello and welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet video. Last time we started capturing some of the legendaries. We started off with Glacier, what's that Pokemon name again? And then we also caught Entei, which was pretty, yeah, they weren't that bad. Glacier does know how to use recoil moves, which was a bit annoying, but the Entei was all good, and so that's good. Indeed, yep, that's it. But today we're planning on capturing, well, I've unlocked Cobalion, Necrozma, and Latios. And so we'll see how much we can much we can capture this video. And yeah, let's just get into it. I already got my screenshots and all that stuff, and so we should be good here to just fight. And I don't think any of these Pokemon can hurt themselves, and so we're in a really good position to full swipe them down, which is a good idea to capture them easier. Seems like we're gonna have to use another Thunder Wave. Close combat, that's not gonna be very effective. Lowering defense is pretty good here. That means my full swipe will do a little bit more damage. This Pokemon. Oh wait, this Pokemon knows how to use. No, this Pokemon doesn't know how to use Takedown because they're level 70. If they were level 69, they would know how to use Takedown. But since they're level 70, they don't know how to use Takedown. So we're good. Well, anyways, this video, I want to talk about... I didn't really think about what topic I want to talk about this video. Good stuff. Like, I was planning on talking about stuff these videos, and then this video, literally only the second one, I've already, like, I'm out of topics. Good stuff, good stuff. I guess we can talk about others. Did he just use Iron Defense? What did he just use? I totally didn't even pay attention. But regardless, yes. I suppose something I kind of want to talk about, and I don't know how long this topic is going to take, but I wanted to talk about some characters. I think at the, when we got the credits, did I go ahead and talk about like Carmine, Kyron, and all those people? I'm not sure how much I've talked about them. But I think what I really wanted to talk about was Briar. I don't have much to say about Briar, to be honest, but I do want to talk about Briar a little bit here. Briar is an interesting character because we initially saw them on our journey to Kitakami Island, and then it's because she's part of the Blueberry Academy. We also saw her when, well, we went to the Blueberry Academy, right? And so she is... First of all, I think her design's pretty interesting. I remember her having like red pants, and then she has like, I think kind of like a purplish. Wait, is this not Scizor? Do I not have Scizor? I do have Scizor. Why did I switch to Golden Yu when I should have switched to Scizor? For continuing the full swipe, right? I think she has an interesting design. I think she has like these star earrings, if I recall correctly. So she has an interesting design, but I kind of heard what we saw at the end there with her being a little bit crazy in the bowels of Area Zero, right? That was a bit concerning, and I even mentioned like this is a bit concerning how she's like acting crazy and she's risking us kids, right? You can say a lot of similarities with Professor Sada. Professor Sada also kind of risked the kids and stuff as well, but I kind of feel like Professor Sada is less villainous than I felt Miss Briar was. And I'm kind of here to, I kind of just want to continue talking about this little topic here. So if we recall, I don't remember much about what happened with Professor Sada. And of course, if you're playing Violet, I'm pretty sure that it's the exact same, but you just have the other professor who's like the male guy, right? But with Professor Sada, she was an interesting character because I think they tried to frame her as the bad guy. It's kind of hard to see her as the bad guy because she didn't really do anything bad. I mean, wait, that's kind of wrong. She did try to do some extreme stuff, but she wasn't exactly like a bad guy, like stealing people's Pokemon and stuff like that, you know. Instead, what she was doing bad was she's trying to like create this machine that would bring Pokemon from the past into the present, and of course that would cause a lot of ecological disruption and damage, and so that's why it had to have been stopped, right? And, you know, that being said though, while that was kind of her actions, she kind of like acted alone, right? I don't know, like in the past, if Professor Sada was working with people like other researchers, but I think what it seemed like to me was that Professor Sada kind of decided to work alone. Like after a series of, events that happened, I think she decided to want to work alone, and that's why we saw her down there alone. And then she eventually died to like some kind of explosion or whatever at the Area 4 base, and then Professor or AI Sada took over, right? And so basically what I'm trying to say is it felt kind of, to me, it seemed like she was kind of working solo from, a certain point onwards. And while her research was kind of crazy and, she could have caused a lot of destruction with, of course, causing Pokemon from the past to come out, she was at least working alone, and so she didn't really cause trouble to any other researchers. It seemed like when she was off the goop and she wanted to do like extreme research, she wasn't working with other people. On top of that, there's the whole thing about Arvin, her being a neglectful parent to Arvin. And it's kind of a bad. I mean, there's obviously a bad thing being a parent and neglecting a child, but there's also a little bit of a positive side to it. I know it sounds a bit strange, but hear me out, right? She knew that what she was doing is dangerous, and so it felt to me that she purposely neglected Arvin so that Arvin would stay away from her. And even that whole thing about like, I think Mabustiff getting hurt and stuff like that, kind of drove Arvin away from visiting Area 0, visiting his mother, wanting to visit his mother or his father, depending on if you played the other game, right? And so again, kind of neglectful for her, but it was the purpose. One of the main purposes for her doing that is so that Arvin can stay away from danger, because I think Professor Sada knew what she was doing was super dangerous, and so in a sense, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that she was neglectful to have Arvin stay away. It's like, you're a destructive person and you like kind of stay away from your child. Parents who have children who kind of sense that they can't handle children, or they're not ready for children, or that they don't have the financial means or the emotional means to care for a child. They might put the child up for adoption, for example, right? Or have the child live with their grandparents or someone else. And, there is like kind of a deal, like a little bit of neglect in that sense, because since like the biological parent is not caring for the child. However, there's a little bit of care, as in like they know, the biological parent knows that they're not fit for the job, and so it's hard to see. There's like a bit of neglect, but also a bit of caring in that sense. And I think Professor Sada kind of did both of them. Again, not trying to defend Professor Sada as a good person. I think that, again, she's off the goop. All right, she's crazy. Let's not forget about it. She's crazy, and she is a little bit too engrossed in her research that she definitely should have took a step back way earlier. I mean, it literally cost her life. So like, what can be more extreme than costing your life to do something, right? So obviously, I'm not saying that she's a good person, but that sense of trying to drive Arvin away. But then again, at the end of the day, she did try to, I guess, revert her decision, trying to end that little, like, what was it called? Like the paradise? I forgot what it was called, but it was like some paradise thing that she wanted destroyed. And so she enlisted the help of us with Koraidon, as well as Arvin, and then whoever friends we felt were fit for the challenge, that being Nemona and Penny, right? And so at the end of the day, she did kind of bring children into it. I tried to say, she tried to push Arvin away, which was a good thing to prevent him from getting hurt, but then she kind of dragged us all in, which again is kind of a bad thing, because she's enlisting the help of kids, one of them being her son, actually. And so that can be seen as kind of a bad thing, but again, it's kind of like risking it for the greater good. Kind of, what's it, the totalitarianism, what's that word called? Totalitarianism, but like potentially harming a few for the greater good of others, right? I guess that's kind of like her action of having us try to stop everything that was happening in Area Zero so that wild Pokemon won't roam out and cause trouble, right? That was kind of her main thing. And so that did eventually happen with us. And you know, it wasn't like she wanted us to go in immediately off the bat, right? She did tell us to prepare, to get strong and all that stuff, to get Koraidon all powered up, because she knew, Professor Sada knew that Koraidon was going to be a big playmaker in the whole process of stopping the Area Zero thing, right? And so again, a lot of bad things that Professor Sada did, bringing the children down to stop a problem that she caused, neglecting Arven. So she did do a lot of bad things, right? But at the end of the day, there was some reason behind it. Again, pushing Arven away so that Arven doesn't get hurt, and also bringing us in, the children, Nemona, the main character, Penny, Arven, in to stop the trouble that she would have caused if, you know, she would have kept continuing. And so that's kind of, you know, that's kind of the whole Professor Sada. I might be missing stuff, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like Professor Sada's thing. Or I guess the professor, I keep saying Professor Sada because I play Scarlet, but the professor of Paldea, I should really say that instead, because if you play Violet, then there's obviously a different person. Miss Briar was a bit different, I feel. She didn't really have, right? The professor of Paldea at least had reason of what they were doing. They were endangering children for the greater good, right? And again, she wanted us to be prepared. We had a lot of time to prepare, and so and again, we had the squad with us. And then she also neglected Arven again to keep him safe, so that one day Arven could be useful in saving the world. You know, Miss Briar was a bit different in the sense that, okay, the thing is, I don't exactly know what type this Pokemon is. Oh my god, Cobalion is on my party. I should remove Cobalion from my party. Maybe I order the Pokemon, these legendary Pokemon by number one day, but for now we're just capturing them, right? Miss Briar was a bit different. The thing that she did bad, right, was she brought children down to Area Zero. Again, us, the main character, as well as Kyron and Carmine. She brought us down to do research. Let me check before I battle Necrozma that Necrozma is not the weird typing that is not a bad typing, because I think I have good Pokemon for this. Psychic, yeah, Psychic, yeah, we should be fine here because I have Dark Pokemon. Lino, again, this is my first time kind of capturing Necrozma. I don't even know what this Pokemon really is, to be honest. I don't know how the fusing works. I don't know all that stuff, so we're just gonna try to do our best here. Yeah, Miss Briar was a bit different. Her whole thing was trying to do research, and then she risked our lives, the main character Kyron and Carmine's lives, just for research. And so I feel like she is much worse of a character, because again, at least the Professor of Paldea had reasons to do what they were doing, and I felt like Miss Briar's reason to endanger children was for the sake of research, and yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't sit well, right? It just doesn't sit well. And Miss Briar was also didn't like, right? You know, Professor Sada, at least the bad thing that she did, there was reason behind it, like I said. And Miss Briar, the thing that she did, it didn't really give us any benefits. I mean, there was something that she managed to do, and I didn't really show it on camera. But she like, with the stuff that she found in that area, she was able to make put some of the materials in the crystal ball in the terrarium, and now Pokemon in a terrarium can terastalize how, what's that Pokemon called? Terapagos can terastalize. And so I guess that is beneficial, you know, more flavor in a terastalization, more development in terastalization. Well, honestly, that didn't really need to be done, right? Someone eventually needed to stop the time machine that the professor from Paldea was making. Someone eventually needed to stop that thing, right? Or it could have caused huge ecological damage, and who knows what else it could have caused. Miss Briar, the research didn't really bring much benefits, in my opinion. Sure, we learned more about Terastalization, but really what she wanted to do was confirm the presence of Terapagos, make sure Terapagos was real, and I felt like that was the main thing that she wanted to do, right? And not only was the benefit that Miss Briar was causing not as significant, in my opinion, as the benefit than the professor of Paldea was providing with, you know, the risk. The risk that Miss Briar brought upon everybody was greater, in my opinion, than the risk provided by the professor from Paldea. Because at least the professor from Paldea equipped us with the right tools, alright? We got Koraidon, we got Miraidon. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a Paradox Pokemon who was super strong, who knew, you know, knew everything that was happening, knew the other side. I think Koraidon and Miraidon got weakened by the other Koraidon and Miraidon, right? The other Koraidon and Miraidon that the professor carried around them and battled with, right? And so our Koraidon and Miraidon is strong because they had that experience with the other Pokemon. They probably know Area Zero well, even though when we first went to Area Zero, our Miraidon and Koraidon were scared. And also, our Miraidon and Koraidon has been amped up the entire time because Professor Sada, or the professor from Paldea, kept on talking to us after we've eaten all the sandwiches. Right, we've been prepping with eating the herbs, the herba mythicas and stuff like that. And so we were prepared, in, you know, we had the right Pokemon, but also we had the right people. We had Arvin, who had the Scarlet book or the Violet book or whatever it was in either game, right? They had the book. They knew the professor personally. You know, right? Arvin knew the professor of Paldea personally, and so they knew, like, okay, this person is AI, something's wrong, right? They knew that. And so Arvin can use his judgment to say, okay, should we do this? Should we not do this? Is this a scam? Like, what's going on here? And so Arvin had that intuition of what to do. We also had Nomona, which is arguably the strongest trainer in Paldea, right? She beat Gita, who is supposed to be the strongest trainer. Of course, we're the main character, and so we have to beat Nomona for story's sake. But she is like the strongest trainer. Nomona's strongest trainer. So we have the strongest trainer on our side. And then we also got Penny, which is a hacker. And this is important, you know. I don't think we saw Penny do much, right, when we went to Area Zero. But Penny is good with technology. And so, if something technologically goes wrong, because again, we're dealing with Professor Sada's research institution, all that stuff, there might be some technical problems that we run into. For example, there's a door that's locked that we can't get in. There's a door that's locked that we can't get out. Now we have Penny, who is a hacker man's, and she can figure out, you know, be helpful to us if there is a technological problem. And so again, we got the squad, we got the power, we got the intuition, we got the hacker man's, and then we have the legendary Pokemon, right? And so there's a lot going for us when we went to Area Zero the first time. But when we went with Miss Briar, sure, we still had, you know, our Koraidon, Miraidon. We still had us in the strong trainer, but now we have baggage. And when I mean baggage, we have 3 baggage. We have the first baggage, which is Carmine. Alright, sure, Carmine is strong, but like, she's not part of the Elite Four. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she is strong, she is the 5th strongest of the Blueberry Academy. At the very most, right? Because we know Kyren is stronger. Well, actually, that means that she's the 6th strongest. Because we know Kyren is stronger. We know Drayton's stronger. We know Lacey's stronger. We know Amary's is stronger. And we know Soma from Food Wars is stronger. Crispin. I'm guessing that Carmine is probably Amary's level of strength, just because they're friends and they probably battle each other a lot. But still, Carmine is not in the Elite Four. So that means that she can't be strong, right? But she is helpful to us, you know. She did, like, encourage us and look after us when we were doing stuff. And so Carmine is, again, she wasn't useless, but she also wasn't, like, she didn't provide the same benefit as, like, Nomona, Penny, Arvin brought in. And then we got Kyren, which is, okay, Kyren is the strongest person at the academy, and so you can say maybe Kyren is the equivalent of a Nomona. But in fact, he is not. Because Nemona has power, but she is, you know, I was gonna say she's level-headed. She wants to battle, right? Of course she wants to battle, but she isn't a problem. You know, Kyren is a bit of a problem. We just beat him, and so now he has to be, because he's already in like a weird state of like, he's not the same person as he was when he, you know, returned to Kitakami Island, right? He's not the same person as he once was because of the whole Ogerpon situation. On top of that, he got beat by me again using Ogerpon. At least I beat him again with Ogerpon. And so like, it's even worse now, and so he's just not in a good state of mind, you know? Regardless if he's a good battler or not, he's just not in a good state of mind to be doing something like this, going down to Area 0. Because he's just hungry. He's just there to capture a legendary Pokemon. Again, he's not in the right state of mind, and so he wasn't the best person to bring along, obviously. Miss Briar, obviously, was also not a good person to bring along. Because the thing about Penny, Arvin, and Nemona is they can all battle. They all can handle themselves in a fight. Miss Briar obviously couldn't handle herself in a fight. I think Carmine even said, or someone said, that Miss Briar can't fight or doesn't like battle Pokemon well. And that's a major problem. I should probably switch Glade out into a Pokemon that can resist these stored powers. For example, a Dark type. Okay. So yeah, so Miss Briar, 1, doesn't even battle. But 2, she's just pushing us to go further and deeper and deeper. Like, she just no chill. Well, I guess she does have chill, a little bit chill, because when she saw this research paper, she wanted to like take a little break. But Kyren kept wanting to push forward. And so the combination of Kyren and Briar just keep wanting to push forward was pretty dangerous. And again, there's more risk, and there's no like, yeah, it's just, we did not have the squad the second time around, okay? On top of all this, we went into a more dangerous area of Area 0. When we went the first time, we went to the research base to where the AI professor of Paldea was, right? And then we stopped the time machine. That's as deep as we went. When we went with Miss Briar, we went to the bowels. We went even deeper into Area 0. Did you remember that elevator scene when we all went down the elevator with Briar, Kyren, and Carmine? That trip took a long time, guys. That trip was not... that trip took a long time. So we were going super deep. And again, we don't have any technologically, I guess, adequate person. We didn't have Penny this time. I know Penny wasn't that useful when we went down the first time, but Penny would have been extremely helpful the second time just in case something went wrong. What if the elevator didn't work? What if the Indigo Disk broke? Or what if a problem arose technologically that we needed? Right? We didn't have anyone who can fix that. And so we went deeper, so it was more dangerous. We had less like backup plans if something went wrong. Right? It was just all just a bad situation when we went down there the second time around. On top of this, more bad things happened. It's because when we went into the dangerous, like the final room with Trapagos, like the crystal thing, and when we had to fight Trapagos, that was super dangerous. Both Kyren and Miss Briar were like, okay, we need to take out this crystal. We're gonna take out this crystal, and let's see what happens. Like, no care in the world of if bad stuff were gonna happen. They just didn't seem to care. Who knows how dangerous this Trapagos could be? We were lucky that Trapagos was able to be captured in a Master Ball the second time around. But you saw how it was able to break free from a Master Ball, right? That could have been extremely bad. We were lucky that we were just battling a small turtle, okay? And yeah, so it just didn't seem like a good situation. It seemed like a way more dangerous situation with a lot less benefits the second time I went to Area 0. And so because of that, I'm just not a big fan of Miss Briar in the sense that, yeah, her character is crazy. That's why I said lock her up. Lock her up. She's a menace to society because of what she did to us to Area 0. And again, we did not assemble the squad. Even if we had Drayton, for example. Because Drayton was invited. Drayton is just another trainer again, kind of like in my opinion, Carmine. Powerful, but is that really going to do the trick where we were at? You know, it's hard to say. But anyways, we are at our third legendary. I normally wouldn't be doing another legendary because I'm 25 minutes into the video anyways. However, because it's a new recording setup, I'm able to make these videos a bit longer. Again, before I would say, okay, 30 minutes, I want it to be 30 minutes, and I don't want the video to be any longer. But now, because I have more storage and all that stuff, I'll be able to make a little bit longer videos. And to celebrate, we're going to make this video a little bit longer. Depending on how fast or long Latios takes to capture. I believe Latios is one of the... Well, I want to say Latios is an easier legendary to capture. I could be wrong. But we'll see. Also, I did not check Latios' move set. I wouldn't think that Latios has any moves that can damage herself because it's Latios. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think Latios can heal herself, and so we should be good here to just go ahead and full swipe them to death. Latios can only use psychic moves, and so if we switch to a King Gambit, there's no way that Latios can hurt us. And then we should be good for the rest of this battle, just chuck Pokeballs. Indeed. But yeah, I just think that, yeah, that whole thing about Miss Briar, just, again, I was way harsher on her than I was with Professor Sada. But looking back on it, like hindsight-wise, I can kind of justify saying how, like, yeah, bottom line, the ending of my thesis statement, just the end of my essay, is that Miss Briar put us in way more danger because we went deeper, we had a worse crew going into it, and then the benefits were also just not as valuable as I think the benefit for stopping Professor Sada, AI Sada was. That was basically what I want to make it out. You know what? It was good. I didn't think I'd be able to talk that long about that topic, but I ended up talking about that topic for like over 20 minutes. And so, you know what? I think I did a good job filling up the time. I think I did a pretty darn good job filling up the time right there, guys, huh? So, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is Professor Sada and AI Sada and the other professor, they're crazy, but, you know, they're not that bad at the end of the day. Or maybe they are bad at the end of the day. But Miss Briar's worse. Miss Briar is worse. You cannot justify that Miss Briar is better than the other people because Miss Briar just seems a lot worse. She made us go down there with Kyron. Are you kidding me? Oh, critical capture. That's nice. I don't think I've gotten a critical capture on any of the legendaries yet. So yeah, that's good. We actually captured all the legendaries in under 30 minutes. That's crazy. I knew Latios was going to be a bit easier. At least I had the feeling that Latios was going to be a bit easier. And indeed, I was right. I'm actually very excited to use this Latios. Ooh, minus speed, nature, that's really bad. I could save and recapture, but at the end of the day, it's fine, you know. I don't really care about nature. Let's see these IVs from the Pokemon I caught this video. Terrible, terrible, not terrible. Okay. You know what, Latios is okay. The special attack could be a little bit better, but at the end of the day, speed being very good and defense stat being good is not bad. So anyways, we've captured a few more legendaries. That means that we can go and talk to Snackworth and see what he has to say. Give us a few more legendaries here. It's weird because I'm unlocking the group quest legendaries, like the Scarlet, or I'm sorry, the Violet BBQ exclusives and the Scarlet group quest exclusives first. I thought I'd be unlocking the Scarlet BBQ exclusives first, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Let's save here because we just caught that Latios. I don't know if I saved, but again, autosave is off, so. Let's see if you can chip away your BBQs. Completed 4 group quests again. So we're unlocking another, like I mentioned, Violet BBQ exclusive, Scarlet group quest exclusive. Let's do this. Lugia treat. Ooh, Lugia. Snack favored by legendary Pokemon Lugia. That's the Lugia treat. You know Lugia, frightfully rare, that one. Not your run-of-the-mill Pokemon. Speaking of Lugia, I do recall this one particular encounter when I was a younger feller. I was paddling into the sea off Paldea, enjoying leisurely backstrokes through those crystal waters. Okay. By the way, I didn't mention this, but Necrozma, I had to search up on Google. Because I didn't remember Sawsbuck and Deerling being able to spawn in Paldea. I suppose I was wrong. they spawn in that area where I caught in the crossbow, and also there's waterfalls everywhere in Paldea, and so I just was really confused about where Salzbucks can be, especially since Salzbuck can spawn in all 4 areas. And waterfalls are everywhere in Paldea, and so I had to search it up. Latios I was able to find on my own, and Cobalion I was able to find quickly after the end of the last video, because again, I was in the area, right? This is a bit more difficult. Off the Sea of Paldea and Crystal Waters. He usually gives us, I feel like, 2 hints. So, sea. It was really frigid stretch of sea, you understand. Didn't take long in that water before I started to lose all worth of my body. Okay, so probably up north where the ice is. I was shaking like a leaf by the time I found an island and crawled ashore. Okay, so Lugia is going to be an island off the sea. There's only a few of those, so I should be able to find this. What should appear before me but a great whirlpool heaving in the sea, and whoosh. Out of it comes Lugia itself. I was knocked flat on my backside in the shock of it all, so delighted I forgot I was even cold. I love that snack you have there, so you might just have a shot at meeting it too. You run to Lugia. I'm sure you be sure to give it my best. Lugia. Alright, so I guess Ho-Oh is a Scarlet BBQ exclusive. I've completed 5 group quests. Earn yourself special snack. Lunala treat. Lunala is going to be the box legendary from Sun and Moon. And so I guess Sagalio is the Scarlet BBQ exclusive. Lunala. There's a Lunala treat. You know Lunala, probably rare that one. Not your one. There's so much legendaries to capture, guys. There's so many legendaries. I just captured. There's just 2. I just unlocked 2 box legendaries. Speaking of Lunala, I do recall this one frequent encounter I had when I was a younger feller. I was on a fine sandy beach in Paldea, gazing out at the sun as it set into the sea. I'm not sure exactly where the sun sets in Paldea. Looking at the sand reminds you just how small you are as one person, you know? I was getting all sentimental as I watched the light slip away. It hadn't yet disappeared when suddenly this great crescent moon bloomed before my eyes. It was only there for for an instant, so it was hard to get a good look. But I'm sure the silhouette belonged to Lunala, or my name is not Snackworth. It loves the snack that you have there, so you might have a shot at meeting it too. If you run to old Lunala, give it my best. I'm not exactly sure where the sun sets, but I think that's the hint, right? 6 group quests completed. Earn yourself a snack. Kyogre treat. Another box legendary. And I guess Kyogre is a version exclusive. Or I'm sorry, a BBQ exclusive in Violet. And a group quest exclusive in Scarlet. If I understand how that works. There's a Kyogre treat. Oh my god. All these Pokemon, by the way, are all near water or at the beach. I guess the same thing with Latios too. So like, I might be able to find them all pretty close at the same time. You know, Kyogre, frankly, read that one, not your own Pokemon. You know, I do recall this particular hand when I had a young fella. It was one of another one of my adventures around Paldea when I spotted these odd rocks at the sea. Though I thought to myself, not now, Snackworth. Those got to be a famous rock said of being bring riches. I have an idea of where he's talking about too, actually. So I figured I might as well squeeze my eyes shut real tight and make a wish on them. As I refused, I opened my eyes, and what appeared to me in front of those rocks were Kyogre. Just big and blue and brazen as you please. Now that was a shocking day. Make no mistake. A little snack you have there, so you might be trying me too. You're on to old Kyogre. You be sure to give it my best. Okay, so I have some ideas of where these Pokemon could be. Lunala, no idea. It's wherever the sun sets. So maybe at the beach there. Maybe at the beach over in this area. Maybe the beach in this area or this area. Again, I don't know where the sun sets. And then maybe in the beach in this area. In the West Province. Kyogre, I believe, he says rocky. I think this is the only rocky sea area. I guess there's rocky sea areas in the North Paldean Sea as well. Maybe over here as well. But the first thing that comes to my head is this. Because this area is very, very rocky over here. I guess it could also be down here in the West Paldean Sea. But I'm guessing Kyogre's around here. Lugia, what did he say? Cold water. Lugia, he said cold water. So I'm guessing it's maybe in this area. Lugia, that being. That being said, though, I'm not going to search for them on camera. Again, that's going to be something I search off camera. But indeed, I think that about does it. We caught 3 more legendaries. Next time we've unlocked 3 legendaries. Whether we're going to be able to capture all 3 of them, that is yet to be done. So we'll see about that. So anyways, thank you for watching. You're beautiful the way you are. And next time, we'll continue capturing Snack Wars legendaries. That's going to be fun. So, see you guys then.